Chapter 201, Nico Robin. Luffy and Crocodile continue their fight. We have Nico Robin deciding to take the king and have him show her the way to the Poneglyph, which Crocodile is fine with. Nico and Luffy exchange glances. She tells him that his luck has run out, but we'll see about that one. And we get to see much more of Crocodile's power here and how he's able to basically completely dry out anything and everything. Initially made me think, well, maybe this is what maybe he's somehow going to create the explosion by doing something like this, but no, that's not quite the deal. But we get, Crocodile gets his moment here. He dries out everything. He dries the ground out, called ground death. The ground is drying up. He can basically turn things into deserts because he can just suck the moisture out of everything. So Nico Robin and the king, Cobra, are on their way to the Poneglyph, and they run into Tashigi, who recognizes, her and the Navy guys recognize Nico Robin, who has the ability to sprout appendages from wherever, completely destroys them, basically. And Tashigi, and that's the short version of that. But they recognize Nico Robin. They remember how much she used to be worth, and then she disappeared, and there's some kind of backstory hinted at here. But they're no match for her. They continue on. Back with Luffy and Crocodile. Crocodile essentially completely dries out Luffy and throws him down to his death. Right. And that's the end of that chapter. I like Crocodile's expanded powers here quite a bit. And I like where this is going with Nico Robin. I don't know everything yet, but we'll keep going. Chapter 202, The Royal Mausoleum. Hachi's Walk on the Seafloor, Volume 17, in search of the legendary super yummy octopus fritter recipe. They're searching for the octopus fritter recipe, I guess, via that treasure map, basically, right? Crocodile finishes drying Luffy out, who now looks like a mummified corpse, and then drops him. And then goes off to the Royal Mausoleum. Meet Nico to have her read the Poneglyph for him. That's what that turns out. He leaves. We're back with Luffy, who somehow croaks, "You missed." And then he just gets lucky that a drop of water lands on him. Pretty good-sized one. It's enough to revive him, seemingly completely. And now Luffy goes after Crocodile. Everything's headed towards the mausoleum just about right now. At the Royal Mausoleum, Nico Robin and King Cobra arrive. And we do find out Nico and Crocodile have some kind of deal because she can read the Poneglyph. Apparently he would kill her otherwise, and she knows that. Which then kind of explains why she would help Luffy out, maybe in hopes that he might actually kill Crocodile before she has to face down the end of her deal with him herself. I guess they're counting on the Poneglyph revealing the location of the Pluton. And they make their way through the chambers, which is pretty cool. And apparently it's through the next door. And from there we move to Usopp and Zolo, I think. And Nami and Chopper and Sanji. And they are all looking for the bomb. And they come up with different ideas, maybe how to figure it out. But they're not making much progress other than ruling things out. From there, we go back to Luffy and Tashigi, because Luffy now runs into Tashigi, who is barely alive after her confrontation with Nico Robin. And as we see, Crocodile had also just recently come across her. So she's on the edge of death and decides just to point the way for Luffy. And so Luffy runs off towards the Royal Mausoleum and starts having trouble because he's wounded and he's bleeding out, and he crashes into a wall, falls over, and I'm sure he's dead, right? I'm sure that's obviously what that was. Back inside the royal mausoleum, Tashigi is reading. Not Tashigi. Man, Nico Robin. The king has never read it because he can't read it, so he doesn't really know what's on it. A crocodile arrives. He's about to make his way to where they are with the poneglyph. We get a little glimpse of the others looking for the bomb. Tashigi getting on her feet, and Luffy dead on the ground, obviously. And there's 4 minutes until explosion time. That's the end of this chapter. Things are starting to come to a head, but taking their time in usual manga fashion, right? Chapter 203, Crocodile-ish. Hachi's Walk on the Seafloor, Volume 18, proposing to my beloved Octopaco one more time. I don't know. Back at the Royal Mausoleum, Luffy's dead outside. Crocodile makes his way into the chamber. Nico is just finishing reading and realizing apparently that what they want is not on this thing, because she's asking, is this all there is? Are there any other poneglyphs here in Alabasta? Well, it's the king's job to keep the kingdom safe, and in particular, keep this, whatever this information is, safe from outsiders. So even if he knew of something, I'm sure he wouldn't say it here, because it certainly appears like this is all there is. So that would be a good way to, like a good fail-safe, right? Crocodile arrives. He's impressed at how well hidden this all is. He asked Nico to read it to him. She begins, and it's pretty much just a history of the kingdom. He stops her before she can finish. Asked about the Pluton. Where is it? What is it? And she says it's not recorded here. It's just a history of the kingdom. There's no mention at all of the Pluton. So now Crocodile has no more use for her and declares he's going to have to kill her now. And the deal they made 4 years ago has come to the end. They fight. She was planning for this. She has some water on her, but she's in no way ready to face down Crocodile. Does not win this fight. I'm sure she's dead, right? Yeah, but anyway. King Cobra here activates something that's going to seal them in to this tomb and basically ensure that all three of them die to protect the kingdom. Crocodile's like, I can just turn this whole place into sand and get out of here later, so whatever. Back outside, Vivi is searching for this cure, or this bomb, still. He realizes where it probably is, which has something to do with her past with Koza. Her and Usopp have a conversation about she knows where it is. Usopp tries to signal everybody, which basically signals literally everybody that could possibly be around. So anyone who decides to come and be curious, whether you would want them to show up or not, has now been signaled. We definitely see Sanji, Zolo, the Flying Eagle Man, and Chopper, Nami get signaled. Luffy's dead body gets signaled as well. Oh wait, he's snoring. Luffy wakes up. Amazing. Who could have possibly predicted this one? So Luffy's pissed. He wants to blast Crocodile, and he recognizes a secret passage as that hole looks crocodile-ish to me. So that's the end of that chapter. Chapter 204, Red. Hachi's Walk on the Seafloor, Volume 19. X marks the spot where the great Octomash lives. I assume Octomash has the recipe for octo fritters or whatever. Luffy is running into the basically collapsing mausoleum, and back with Vivi and Usopp. Usopp decides to leave a note for the others to tell them where they're going, which results, I suppose, in the Baroque Works finding this note and going to this location. I mean, everybody ends up there, basically. So we have, I don't know if it's certainly Baroque Works, Usopp, Vivi, and Usopp's fighting them with screeching chalkboard sounds, which is clever, I admit. But it looks like Tony Chopper and Nami are incoming, so they're about to show up, I'm guessing. Back in the mausoleum, Luffy makes it in deep enough to confront Crocodile before it comes crashing down, I guess. The timing of that's a little, confusing, I guess. Of course, Crocodile is just as shocked as all of us are that Luffy's still alive, and Nico's even like, Straw Hat, and King's like, why have you come, Crocodile? How many times must I kill you? Oh, Luffy says it's because you haven't given back that thing you stole. What thing? The kingdom. And he's like, I haven't quite stolen it yet. And Luffy's like, well, when we set foot on this land, this kingdom of hers was long gone. Because if it was hers, she would be laughing a lot more. And then he attacks. And Crocodile's not even close to concerned because he's like, you don't have any water on you. But Luffy smacks him hard multiple times. There's some kind of moisture going on here. And it turns out that's blood. And Luffy's using his own blood, probably, that he's bleeding out to hit Crocodile, which is very cool. This is like my favorite thing so far in this arc, probably. It's a good idea. I like it. So Crocodile resolves to kill Luffy for a third and final time, and they continue to fight as pirates. A fight to the death. This is the end. And there's a real chance that they're just both going to die no matter who wins, considering what's going on around them. But he's now poisoned his hook. We go back outside. Looks like Zolo enters the scene. Tashigi enters the scene to help get rid of the explosion. So there's a bit. They're teaming up against the Baroque Works, I think, is what's going on here at the end. These might be two separate fights, but either way, yeah. So Zolo runs into part of the Navy. It looks like that maybe they've killed some of the Baroque Works. The Navy's going to help. That's what this is. That's the end of the chapter. Next video is going to be here. Like and subscribe. See you there. Peace.